Hi, it's me, Andrej. This material could save someone's life, or at least a motorcycle, or a lot of trouble. This is a video for Pirelli, but it's also very practical because, attention, apparently people are putting racing tires on the street and there's nothing worse you could do. Because, pay attention, this is a Supercorsa SC2 tire, which means it's a racing compound. There are compounds like SC1, SC2, SCX, and so on. South Carolina 0, and this one is SP. This is a street tire, which you'll find on models like the Panigale V4, Speed Triple, and many other hyper nakeds or strictly sport motorcycles. And these tires look identical, but they're completely different rubbers. This tire requires temperature and not a low temperature. We use tire warmers and heat these tires up to 80 degrees, and after a session they're close to 100 degrees, and that's when they work. If you put an SC tire on the road and it's a cool day, it simply won't grip at all. So remember, if you want to have a super cool looking, very sporty tire, make sure it's the Supercorsa SP. And now I'm moving on to something even more interesting, because this is the Supercorsa V4, which is the latest model. If you regularly watch my videos or read my articles, you know I've always criticized these tires on road motorcycles, even if it was, I don't know, a Speed Triple, Street Triple, or Street Fighter, or something along those lines. I don't even remember exactly, but for years, it doesn't matter. Such tires sometimes end up being installed on road motorcycles. And in the past, the previous model, the Supercorsa V4 SP, also didn't perform very well without heat. You guys confirmed this in other videos as well, that only after you warmed up the tire in the corners did it really work well. But still, when you rode out of the garage, you had to ride a bit awkwardly at first. When it rained, it was a total disaster, and I had the chance to ride on these tires during the speed test on the roads called roads. It was raining, and both Mariusz Wawicki from Shigesh and I were shocked that it was our first time riding on Supercorsa SPs, and they actually work. The V4 model has a completely different compound, which means that it finally works at lower temperatures, and that's great at last. I can recommend these tires. But what's even better is that today we're at the Ducati Riding Experience at the BRNO circuit, and these tires were mounted on the Panigale V4 I was riding, and it was shocking how well you could ride on them. I did a 211 at BRNO on this new surface. It's a very aggressive surface. How did Costa put it? Very aggressive asphalt at BRNO. Look what happened. Look what happened to the Supercorsa SP. Ha! It wore perfectly, or rather, it didn't even wear out. It's wearing perfectly. Here, it's just perfect, and the grip is so good, it's shocking. Because what's most important is that it was up to the edge. What is a bun? Oh my, the bun is. How is it possible that the ball is below me on slicks and I am above the ball on road tires? How is this possible? You're simply better. You are better. No, because I'm driving a direct motor for 500,000 zloty. And he's afraid. So as not to crash. Oh dear, oh dear. And I was like, ooh. Fun? We're not talking about you. Daniel, how fast would you go on that one on road tires? Take a guess? I have no idea. So we have no idea how fast the rider would go on that tire. But I think you could easily cut off 2, 3, maybe even 4 seconds, because here it's just an SC2 compound in the front and it wears down perfectly the same way. And now To do it properly, I'll put on full SC1 slicks, which are softer, and we'll see if the time improves. If the time does improve, by how much and what will the feeling be like? Because right now it's just shocking how well it wears down. The grip was incredible. If I put Daniel Blin on the bike and didn't tell him these were street tires, I suspect he'd go 3 or 4 seconds faster. But to be professional, I put on slicks afterwards. SE1 on the front and SE1 on the rear. Just so you know, I'm not trying to fool you, these tires are like slicks. Because this tire, this slick, well, you can even see it. It's right here. And this is the SC3 compound. And like I said, we run low pressure and go for full lean. If someone likes to drag their elbow and all that, I can't do it. But you can still ride fast. So what's my point? I put on slicks. And unfortunately, or actually fortunately, I shaved off another 3 seconds. Of course, I finally had a clear track ahead of me, but the difference is there. The Panigale, on which I put those slicks, immediately leaned into corners even more willingly. And surprisingly, it already required tightening the springs and increasing the preload because the suspension was getting a bit too soft with those slicks. It's a matter of setup, but it shows that it's not just about the compound when it comes to track tires, but also the construction. These tires, you know, have a certain load capacity, a stiffer, simply stiffer construction. So they can withstand hitting bumps and so on and so on and so on. Slicks are much more flexible, and because of that, you feel it even more. They grip even better, you feel even more confident, and it simply translates into lap time. But watching how many people were driving here, how confident do you think I felt on those tires? Seriously, you really don't have to jump straight into SCs when you're driving on the track. If you're not at a really, really fast level, you can easily go with TSP. Put them on for the road, see how they perform. Share your feedback on how they work on your motorcycle. V4 model, remember? Look for the V4 model and you can confidently take it to the track. Big, small, and just go for it. You can find the recommended pressures on the manufacturer's website, or maybe I'll just write in the comments what pressures you should use for these tires on the track, and you'll be shocked at how much fun you can have with them. Don't buy SC for the road. SC is only for use with tire warmer. I recommend TSP. And as for Pirelli sponsoring this video, I'm not lying to you because I don't know how to lie. Bye.